Hello. So the sourdough bread stuff, that's over. But I thought I would just drop in and maybe give a little bit of information about how to stretch out your time between runs to the grocery store and getting food. Now for me, I'm playing a little game called 2 weeks until. I just figure it should be 2 weeks until I get out of the house. It was 1 week ago that I went to the grocery store to pick up, like, it was a mad dash. I basically started at one end and I picked up anything I thought I could use that I thought I could safely cook. Fresh vegetables that would be cooked or peeled, and fruits, the same thing. I didn't pick up things like strawberries that I would have had. Well, I suppose I could have frozen them and cooked them, but I didn't. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. There was no toilet paper. I'm fine. I didn't really need it. There was no pasta, but I know how to make pasta and I still have a little bit of flour here. So I'm okay with that. I do have a bag of rice. I've got quinoa. I've got all sorts of grainy things. I'm good. So I picked up a bunch of stuff, and that was a week ago. Today I caught myself because I was thinking, boy, if I had this ingredient or that ingredient, I could make this thing I want. Well, if I run out to the store every couple of days for something I want, well, that puts me and my husband, who are here in our house, at risk, because now one of us has gone out there and been exposed to other people, or, I don't know, maybe I'm shedding virus. I was out a week ago. Did I catch it? My husband runs every morning, and I think it'd be pretty tough, but I mean, I don't know. So just doing what's safe, acting like I may have it. I don't want to put myself, my husband, my anybody I should come in contact with at the grocery store who works there, unless I really need something. So do I want a bar of chocolate? Well, hell yeah, who doesn't? Do I want some more bottles of wine? Hell yeah, who doesn't? But I'm not going out there just for those things. In another week, I will have hit my minimum mark of 2 weeks, and I'll go out to the store if I can't stretch it out any longer. But here are some of the things I'm doing to stretch out. So Ovidio has come out of the refrigerator just now. He's going to warm up. I'm going to start him up again, and tomorrow I'll make some bread from the sourdough starter. And this time I'm going to remember what I didn't do last time was put a little pan of water in the bottom. The steam helps to make the crust better. I'll remember that this time. So tonight's plan was, I had some mozzarella, I had some leftover vegetables, I have a jar of olives. I was going to make a really nice pizza tonight, and I was going to make my own dough, which required a little bit of kneading. This happened this morning when I was using up potatoes that were about to go bad because of this thing. Something that I really like, and it's a great tool, but let me tell you, you have to be very, very careful with it. I just wasn't paying attention. And even though I was using that hand guard thing, I let my thumb kind of slide behind the hand guard, and then as it went down, and then I took a little bit of the end of my thumb off. So it wasn't even like I cut it deeply. Under best circumstances, I wouldn't have gone to an emergency room for that, but it did ooze for quite a long time. And I had to keep pressure on it for about an hour. And then, because I keep that liquid bandage stuff, it's all painted up, and now it's under, well, it's called a finger cot. It's not a condom. It's kind of like a finger condom, but it's made specifically for this, so get your minds out of the gutter, okay? So, this is what I learned today. Be careful with this thing, okay? And then, because I couldn't make the pizza because of the thumb, I didn't want to knead bread and, open it up and get it going. I wanted to give it a rest, and I did. I realized that I did have a chunk of meat, like a roast that I had taken out to defrost. And it was defrosted. It was in my refrigerator. And originally I bought that a while ago because it was on sale, and I was saving it for a time when one of my sons and daughter-in-law could come over for dinner. The grandkids were here or something, and oh, I don't want to cry about not seeing my family. They're all safely in their own homes. So I decided if I can't make pizza, I'll make that roast beef, and I'll just do with that. I mean, roast beef is something good to make do with. So here's my other little trick. Should you get to the grocery store, don't be afraid of buying the roast, because once you buy that roast, when you make it, you have lots of meals to cook from. You can make sandwiches from the leftovers. You can always make hash. Just Google it or look for some other YouTube videos. Hash is really easy. If you've got onions and a couple of other things around, you make some mighty good hash. It's delicious. It's like depression food. My mother taught it to me. Now this stuff, okay, the roast was really good without gravy. It was nice and moist because I know how to cook it, okay? And so there really wasn't a lot of pan drippings in the pan. This is what you do. I put some potatoes and some carrots in there, and they roasted along with it. I coated them in olive oil and threw them in with the roast. So now there are little brown sticky bits left at the bottom of the roasting pan. I also had steamed some green beans. So I had about, I don't know, a half cup of the water at the bottom of the steamer that had green bean flavoring in it. So I used that. I put that green bean liquid into the roasting pan to get all the brown bits up. And so what I have there is probably about, that's probably about a cup and a quarter, a cup and a half of really good tasty stuff. There's a little bit of fat starting to separate. Put it in the refrigerator. Tomorrow I can take that off. Don't need it. So what I'll do with that is I'm going to turn it into soup. I have canned tomatoes in here. Put tomatoes, put this in it. Maybe put some of that beef in it. I still have some vegetables laying around. I can toss in odds and ends of things that I have. And I have some barley because, yeah, this is the stuff I buy when you go to the grocery store. Make sure you have rice on hand, pasta if you can get it. Barley is fantastic. I mean, you can put it in with any sort of broth or pan drippings. It doesn't have to be meat. It can be vegetarian. I happen to love barley. It's really delicious. Makes a great soup, especially when there's tomatoes involved with it. I like a can of chopped tomatoes, and you put it in there with some carrots and some onion and some, delicious kind of stock or something, and you're good to go. So that with the sourdough bread that I'll probably make tomorrow will make a really lovely dish to eat and another meal. So don't just, buy a roast when you go to the store. Buy vegetables that will last so that you don't have to run out every couple of days. Buy things like carrots and potatoes and onions, stuff like that will sit for a while. Don't overload yourself like we all do when it's good times and we just go out and buy whatever we think we want. And we buy that eggplant and then don't use it right away. And then a week later, it's brown and rotten in the vegetable drawer. This is not the time to do that stuff. Buy those root vegetables now. Buy the stuff that will last longer than a week in your refrigerator so that you can ration it out all during this time. All right? Then anything that you cook with, if you've got some liquid left over from making vegetables, save it. It's going to make a stock when you put it all together. Save the peelings from the vegetables and cook those and strain them. And then that's more great flavor and vitamins and stuff. Put all that stuff together. Get some sort of grain you like, whether it's rice, barley, quinoa, some farro. Get something, and put those things together and make yourself a soup or a stew or something. So, and that'll give you a couple of meals. Remember, it's about protecting ourselves, but it's about protecting all the people who are out in the stores. Every time you leave home, you push that clock back to the beginning and it has to start ticking around again for you and for all the rest of us. Please stay home as long as you can. Stay home. I also have this. Bye-bye.